I've been saying this for a while now. Timex is operating on a whole new level, and after finally getting hands-on with one of their latest dive watches, I've never been more convinced. The shift really began in 2019 with the release of the Q Timex reissue collections, a revival of their iconic 1979 quartz diver-style watch. That moment marked the beginning of a new chapter, and Timex was no longer the brand known for affordable digital watches. They were tapping into heritage, style, and substance. But the real game changer came last year with the launch of the Deepwater Reef collection. This wasn't just a throwback or a nostalgia play. This was Timex stepping into real dive watch territory with serious intent, and they dropped 3 distinct models that really changed the game forever for Timex. First is the Deepwater Reef 200. A classic quartz-powered 3-hander with the 41mm stainless steel case, 200 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, and a dial with the cool wave pattern. Then there's a travel-ready GMT version in a 41mm recycled stainless steel case, letting you track a second time zone. And the third model is executed in titanium with an automatic movement, the flagship of the collection, featuring a 41mm Grade 2 titanium case, a Miyota 8215 automatic movement, 200 meters of water resistance, and the same sapphire crystal protection. Not only do these watches look amazing, but it feels like Timex was making a bold statement. They're not just playing catch-up, they're charting their own path forward and really tapping into the kind of watches that watch enthusiasts love. What they're doing reminds me a lot of what made Seiko so great back in the day. Solid specs, killer looks, and budget-friendly pricing. But with Seiko steadily increasing their prices year after year, they've left behind the value sweet spot they once dominated. And that's where Timex has stepped in, with the Deepwater Reef 200. I think Timex might be the new king of affordable watches. Today we're getting hands-on with the Deepwater Reef 200 in a really cool blue colorway, and to be honest with you, this isn't the Timex you're used to. The build quality, the finishing, the design details, it's all on another level. I've talked about many times how I have far too many watches with black dials, so as soon as I saw this blue version, I figured it was the perfect time to add a little bit of color to my collection. I'm definitely glad I did because I'm in love with all the different colors throughout the watch. The blue on the dial and bezel are pretty much the same, creating a nice cohesive layout. The finishing and materials are different, so that naturally creates some changes in the hue depending on lighting and angles. This dial is definitely the big standout of the watch, especially with the wave textured pattern. There's different levels, and the waves are quite thick, creating a bit of a 3D effect, making it look way more premium in person than I initially anticipated. The dial also has a bit of a glossy finish, adding even more depth and visual appeal. It's a bit of a nod to the Omega Seamaster, and I'm definitely okay with that. The watch is no homage or look-alike, so I think it's cool to take inspiration from other iconic dive watches and give it the Timex twist. Another detail I didn't think I would like as much are the hour markers. It's done in this really cool green color that I guess would lean on the seafoam green side of the spectrum and looks really good with the blue. I do want to highlight the lume pip at the 12 on the bezel has been given the same seafoam green application, creating a really nice cohesive design. The rest of the dial is executed really nicely with just the right amount of text and a white hour and minute track running the perimeter of the dial. It's all a very easy to read and cool looking dial that has a lot of character and different elements all coming together. The handset was a really great choice, continuing the fun, detailed theme. The hour and minute hands have been partially skeletonized and filled with the same lume found on the dial, and there's also a really interesting seconds hand. On one end, it's constructed in the same style as the other hands, but then on the other half, it's been finished in orange and accented with the lume-filled rectangle. Although a small detail, the hands do add a lot to the overall design and give the watch a ton of personality. The lume is solid and gets the job done. Although Timex is not renowned for exceptional lume, generally speaking, I've found their watches to have a decent amount that's functional and provides adequate visibility in low light conditions. Timex's Indigo Nightlight, on the other hand, is definitely a sight to see. I did just get in another one of Timex's newest releases that has an Indigo Nightlight, so look out for that video, which should be coming out in a few days. It's a really awesome, really unique watch. Protecting the dial, I'm happy to report, is the sapphire crystal, which does offer the best scratch resistant and has an anti-reflective coating. As you can see by the clarity in the dial, the crystal is well made and the AR coating is really effective. The legibility is on point. Sometimes it can be quite tricky to film really shiny watches, and the hardest part is getting the dials to show clear so you can see the little details. And shout out to Timex for making my job easy, because the crystal on this watch is really fantastic. It also sits flush with the bezel, creating a more streamlined and nicer appearance. Surrounding the crystal is the unidirectional bezel that is fitted with the matching blue bezel insert. Timex doesn't specify what the material is, and although I'm not certain myself, it doesn't seem to be aluminum, but rather something a bit thicker and stronger. Only time will tell on its durability and scratch resistance. It does look solid and should stand up against the test of time, pun intended. As I mentioned, the bezel does feature a lume pip at the 12 that matches the lume on the dial and hands. Rotating the bezel is an enjoyable experience overall. There's no backplay, which is always nice, and lines up just about perfectly at the 12. It's like 99% there, which is totally acceptable. Definitely better than some other brands we know and love. Seiko. The coin edge design on the bezel is done really well. It's very grippy and easy to rotate. Has a polished finishing, adding a nice little bit of bling to the very tool watch heavy design, and feels nice to touch because it's not sharp at all. I think another big standout design of this watch is definitely the case. Aside from the really detailed and nice dial, this case is a big reason why I feel Timex is on another level. It's very sturdy, robust, and a lot heavier than any other Timex watch I've owned. There's a heft and general quality that might have been missing from previous watches years ago, so it's awesome to see their growth come to life with the Deepwater Reef. The case is constructed in the classic skin diver case, which has some cool characteristics that make it special. It's distinguishable by a few key design traits that sets it apart from traditional dive watch cases. It was originally developed in the 1950s and 60s for skin diving, free diving, or shallow water diving without heavy scuba gear, and its design reflects that purpose, more streamlined and wearable. Some key features is the slim profile with a thinner case than most professional dive watches. The thinner case height, the tonneau or cushion case with more of a barrel shape and flowing rounded edges. A less bulky, more ergonomic design than other dive watches like the Submariner. There's also no crown guards and more compact lugs that are short and downward sloping to sit flat on the wrist. I've always been a fan of skin diver cases and really like what Timex did with their version. The case is mostly fully brushed with really nice finishing, and there are polished chamfered edges that run the full length of the case that helps break things up, just give the watch a more elevated touch of detail. The watch definitely wears really comfortably and has fantastic dimensions. The case diameter comes in at 41 millimeters, the case height or thickness is 12 millimeters, and the lug-to-lug distance or total length is 47.5. I think the watch looks amazing on my 7-inch wrist, but it would also look great on bigger or smaller wrists as well. On the back of the watch is a screw-down caseback. It has been engraved with the Deepwater Reef Wave logo and some details on the specs of the watch around the perimeter. It's made really thick, and when I tap on the caseback, there is no hollow sound, just dense, thick metal, which will help the overall protection and water resistance, which is rated for 200 meters. This is one area I've never experienced any issues with my Timex watches, and that's water resistance or any fogging on the dial because of moisture. The crown screws down, which further adds to the great protection and water resistance. The crown has an orange circular arrow on the ends that is a cool little detail, nice splash of color, ties in the orange seconds hands. Although a small element, it's thoughtful. The watch comes equipped on a 2-piece quick-release rubber strap that is super flexible, super soft, and legit really comfortable to wear. One thing I noticed really quickly is it's not a lint magnet. Sometimes rubber straps could really attract a lot of debris and things get stuck to it far too often, but somehow this strap doesn't do that really much at all. It also has a few details that I really like. Near the end links, there are 2 sections where it dips in, almost like waves, and then there's the Timex branding on one end. The strap does not use keepers to hold the strap in place when it's around the wrist. Rather, there's a hole where the strap slips through and hides it, creating a more seamless design. At first, I thought this might be just a kind of a gimmicky feature, but it's actually really nice and I like it a lot. Definitely looks a lot cleaner and a bit different, so I'm a fan. The strap also has quick-release spring bars, so for those of you like me who are strap addicts, or just like switching up the look of a watch with different straps from time to time, the watch is a total strap monster. And as you've noticed throughout the video, I've had the watch on a few different straps to help demonstrate its versatility and how it looks in different ways. Since the launch of the new Deepwater Reef 200 collection, Timex has released 8 distinct models in 3 different categories: quartz 3-hander, quartz GMT, and an automatic in titanium. A great mix of different colors, materials, and straps, so definitely something for everyone. It's been really enjoyable wearing this Deepwater Reef for the past week, and I've always had a soft spot for Timex, and it's really exciting to see this new direction they've been going in. I definitely think they've helped fill a void Seiko created with the changes they've been experiencing. I own a Q Timex reissue. I've had it for a few years and definitely love the watch, but it's nowhere near the same build quality that I see in this new Deepwater collection. It really changes the game forever for Timex, and it will be exciting to see what else they release. What do you all think of this new direction Timex has been going in? Are you into these new watches? That's it for today. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.